Well, it's easy to see why Rahel is so popular. She is, without a doubt, one of the most beautiful dolls I've came across. Not only with the Hearts for Hearts, but with other doll brands too. The detail is just so wonderful. She's got an afro, very tight curls. Some people were saying that you have to be careful with brushing her hair. They don't really recommend vigorous brushing too much. More of a light kind of fluffing it with a metal fine tooth, three-prong type comb. She has brown eyes. Earrings are kind of hard to see. They're these kind of little jeweled type things. But that's one reason why you do have to take the choking hazard warning with these dolls. She's got a set of these brightly covered bead necklaces. I don't know if they can be removed or not. I can't see. The clothes are very well made, particularly for the Hearts for Hearts. Their dolls, the clothes tend to be nice. Not something you would say spectacularly well made, but they, durable, basically durable. A lot of times the clothes were not always that impressive with most Hearts for Hearts. But Rahel's clothes are really nice. She's got a yellow shirt. It's kind of one of these like dance type things. It kind of ends in a, it kind of serves as both underwear. The skirt, which ends in kind of a fringe, it's a very heavy type of fabric. Kind of reminds me of dish towel fabric to some degree, but a kind of a nice dish towel fabric. A lot of times all the girls have these kind of plastic rings, so they might be in different colors. She also, in addition, has these kind of corded bracelets. And the sandals, really thick. I don't like these plastic rubber bands, but I have to admit I'm tempted to keep them on her because I know with the fact for like Tippy, she is always losing her flip-flops. It drives me crazy. And this is her from the back. Now, the Hearts for Hearts dolls, I do really like these dolls. I've noticed that there is two problems with them that you should keep in mind if at least you're a collector. If you're a parent buying it for your kid, you may want to keep in mind as far as how much you're willing to spend for the dolls. As I said, when they first come out in the store, Target carries them, Toys R Us carries them. I would suggest trying to get them as soon as possible when they're out in the store because they'll only get more expensive, and generally I think they do go out of print. It does seem with Rahel they did do a second production because I'm pretty sure she was originally a 2010 doll, but this box is from 2012. But that's I don't think that's very common really. Anyway, two problems. One, their eyes, you can't really tell with her eyes because they're a little darker. They remind me of marbles. I used to have these marbles that were clear and they'd have a little bit of paint in them. And they were always really pretty. You can see it more in Larissa's eyes, who has lighter eyes. They're kind of speckled. They kind of remind me of these marbles, but what would happen with the marbles is over time they would start kind of clouding, and then they would seem to come like one color. Now, this is my doll Tippy. She was put out the same year as the original Rahel. As you can see on this box, this is Tippy here. And as you can see, this was the original group of dolls. And if you see in the photo, Tippy had brown eyes. Now, sometimes in certain lights, her eyes still appear brown. But as you can see, Tippy's eyes have turned purple. And so it can be kind of freaky. I still love Tippy though. So, but that is one thing you have to know about them. Another thing is that their skin can turn a little bit grayish in color, particularly if they're darker skinned dolls. They don't start out that way. Actually, Rahel's well, no, not real. Well, she's a little bit gray, but not too bad. Some of the Rahels can sometimes get a little scary because they can start looking like zombies a bit. But I don't know. Their coloring. My Tippy was also a little bit grayer than she had been. But that's two problems with the Hearts for Hearts girls. Now, I still think they're beautiful dolls. I love the fact that they represent different countries around the world. So it doesn't bother me too much. But, you know, if it's going to bother you, you know, then that you'll have to say, well, this is going to, you know, how much am I willing to pay for the dolls, knowing that they have these type of flaws, or do I even want them at all? You know, because it is possible. I mean, they put out sewing patterns of, you know, there are, McCall's comes out with sewing patterns that do cultural and time clothing, you know, different times clothing. So, I mean, if you didn't really like the Hearts for Hearts dolls specifically, you know, you could always make your own cultural dolls, you know, I mean, it is possible. But I personally do like the dolls. The dolls are 15 inches, so they're a little smaller than things like Journey Girls and American Girl. And they're a lot narrower, you know, in width. Now, this might make them a perfect carrying size for a tiny little girl if you buy them for your kid. But maybe making clothes for them might be a little complicated because you'll definitely have to take the clothes in if you get a 15-inch doll pattern. Even if you get a 15-inch doll pattern, because they're usually made, even if they're made for 15-inch dolls, the dolls will probably be a lot larger in width, you know, and girth and all that stuff. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I was going to tell you about the doll movement. And I better hurry up because we're running out of juice here. Okay. Oh, God. Come on, come on. Every time you're running low on juice. So, the heads are very... they move around, they nod a lot, they have a lot of movement. Some people claim that they've had some problems with them kind of coming off, but I don't know, or that they, you know, they're too loose, but I've not had that with my dolls. Arms kind of go up like that for a bit, and they rotate. Torso does not twist. They pretty much have classic baby doll movements. They can sit down, they can stand up on their own without the aid of a doll stand. Knees, elbows don't bend. Okay, I'm going to try to finish her storybook. They always show the place on the map where the girls are. Okay, so let me while we still have some juice, let me get through this. Okay. They have some of her language. I am Rahel from Ethiopia, and I am 10 years old. They show where that is on the map. I know it's blurry on my thing. My family is luckier than people in some other villages. We have a school here for my brothers and me to attend. We live in a big mud house with a thatch roof that keeps us warm and dry, and we have many cows. This part of Africa has been without enough rain for a very long time. The farmers' crops go bad, and then there's not enough food. Many people go hungry, even in my village. Then when the rain finally comes, it is too late for the farmers, and it brings with it another problem. Mosquitoes. Many of them carry a bad disease. One day, a government worker came to our village. She said that they were training thousands of women to be community health workers. My mother, who is both strong and smart, told the worker that she would like to learn. So they sent my mother to Addis Ababa, the capital city of Ethiopia, for classes. Then she learned how to test people for malaria, check their general health, and give out supplies. Then she came back and began helping our neighbors. This is a very good thing. People used to have to walk many miles in the hot sun to get medicine or food. Now they can just go to my mother in a village clinic. After school, I help give out packets of special food, a kind of paste made from peanuts, milk, and vitamins, to those who need it. I also help give out malaria nets. These nets have insecticide in them that keeps the mosquitoes away while everyone is sleeping. Once the food supplies did not reach our village, the truck carrying them ran into some deep mud and turned over. My brother and my father walked the back ways to reach that truck, even though it was dark and raining. I begged to go as well and helped load boxes of supplies onto a cow cart. It was morning before we reached home and I was so tired. But imagine how much worse it is to be without any food. My parents say I was born with a kind heart that reaches out to those around me. When I am older, I want to go to Addis Ababa and study medicine. I can become a doctor and make a difference in my village. Ethiopia is a beautiful but also a sad place sometimes. My dream is to help make it happy again. So that's Rahel's story. Very kind of a little more heart-wrenching than some of the other stories. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this review, and stay tuned for more reviews. Oh, good Lord, I forgot to show you guys what it came with. Okay, this circle behind it comes with a code for the kids to join the website. It comes with the booklet. It comes with a comb and usually an extra rubber band. And it comes with this bracelet. Now, me personally, since I'm an adult, the bracelet doesn't fit my hand. This bracelet, usually the one heart is always purple. Usually the second heart matches the doll in color. So like Mosey had hers is blue, and Larice had kind of a purplish pink, and Tippy had a green. Anyway, but I don't find that I can wear them. So what I do is I pull the ends here, and I keep pulling them until they reach the top, and I make it into a necklace. Now, of course, it's still too small for me, but what I do is I put it over the doll, like so. And that's how I keep them. And now that concludes the review for Rahel.